busy town where the cookies call. He left his northern home for a noble cause. Now the Gringo baker's in a tropical place. In a modern new kitchen he's mixing dough while doves sing melody. Cinnamon rolls and coconut pies, sweet treats under tropical blue skies. Oh, the Gringo baker has found a sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. He's got a YouTube channel by his same name, and he's sure having fun with this baking game. With the sound of the breeze and a heartfelt laugh, subscribers tune in from all the world around to see the Gringo baker in his new hometown. Well, I'll buy a puree and banana bread. He bakes with flavors that go straight to your head. He's a charming soul with a passion true, bringing northern charm to a southern brew. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the cookies call. He left his northern home for a noble cause. Now the Gringo baker's in a tropical place. In a modern new kitchen he's mixing dough while doves sing melody. Cinnamon rolls and coconut pies, sweet treats under tropical blue skies. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. He's got a YouTube channel by his same name, and he's sure having fun with this baking game. With the sound of the breeze and a heartfelt laugh, subscribers tune in from all the world around to see the Gringo baker in his new hometown. Well, I'll buy a puree and banana bread. He bakes with flavors that go straight to your head. He's a charming soul with a passion true, bringing northern charm to a southern brew. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call. He left his northern home for a noble cause. Now the Gringo baker's in a tropical place. In a modern new kitchen, he's mixing.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Gringo Baker on this beautiful 24th day of May. It hasn't been beautiful all day. It did some raining here and there during the day. Okay, tonight we've got a few things going. We're going to make a banana cream pie. We're going to make whipped cream to go on top of that. I've got a couple of quick tips for you, and a really good channel of the week. I'm losing my mind here tonight. Okay, so let me start by telling you what I've done this week. I have received the in-the-ear monitor that I said I was going to get this week, and it turns out that it doesn't work with my setup. So tonight I'm wired. I'm plugged in over here and way over there. Got 12-foot of extension cord to get me plugged in. I do have a wireless setup coming, and in fact, it is already delivered to my daughter's house in Florida, because next week we're broadcasting from Florida. We're going to do our first remote. We should be making pinchos on the grill next week. That's the plan. We'll see how that all works out. We don't get there until Wednesday. It doesn't give me a whole lot of setup time. I got to do some of the setup here before we ever leave. And why is that saying? Yeah, now we've got live chat. Okay. So tonight, like I said, we're going to make the banana cream pie. We've got some bananas. We've got all the ingredients. I had to get pretty creative to get the cream cold enough to whip, because we don't have refrigeration here in the studio. And as you know, it's cool in here today. It's only 87.2. It feels a lot hotter than that. I've got my fan blowing on my back. And that's going to be the start of that. So what do you say we start with a pot, dump in a couple of cups of milk. This is 2 cups of whole milk. And we'll set that mixer aside. Before we really get started, though, I should do this step first. I have 4 egg yolks, which are at room temperature. I'm going to whisk them around a little bit. Then I'm going to dump in a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And we'll help that a little bit. And we'll whisk that around. That's weird. This is actually the first time I've ever done it this way. This recipe calls for this, so we're going to do it this way, but it's really not what I normally do. Made a mess of my whisk, so we'll do it with a spatula a little bit. And then we're going to set this aside once we get the cornstarch and eggs mixed up pretty well. Okay, let's set that aside and go back to the milk. We're going to add 1/2 cup of heavy cream to that. And we're going to dump 1/2 cup of granulated sugar in that. but we're going to use a different whisk. Then we're going to whisk that around until we know the sugar is dissolved. Now we could start our little stove. We kind of want medium heat at this point. And we have an 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to stir this until it gets warm. I'm trying to get the chat where I can see it. There we go. Okay, let's see who we got. We have my wife. Hi, honey. We have, actually, we have 3 sisters on right now. Hi, guys. We just want this to warm up to a simmer, basically. It feels really weird to not have the cornstarch in the milk. Usually I do, and it's just weird. Now the pie crust to this, I made yesterday. And you're right, Cheryl, it is a new low. I made the pie crust yesterday, and I'm going to show you part of that right now while I stir this. This is a part called docking. We're going to take a fork and poke holes in the bottom of the crust, and this helps prevent bubbling up, which we don't really want to happen. And I poke the sides too, because sometimes the sides will puff away from the pan if they can't breathe. And that's all there is to that. You just poke holes in the pie crust. I use store-bought pie crust, so I don't mess around with making pie crust, because, as Cheryl just pointed out, it's 87 degrees in here, which is cool for this kitchen. So usually it's way too hot to make homemade pie crust here. It's a real exercise in frustration, so I don't do it. The store-bought ones work out well, and I can store them in my refrigerator at home. I don't have one here. And then I can use them as I need them. I don't have to worry about making them ahead of time. And I'm a little curious how warm my milk is getting. A few minutes ago, I had my thermometer. Now I don't know what I did with it. But that's okay, because we can see in a few minutes. 52 degrees in Massachusetts. That's cozy. What's the temperature in Louisiana? If you're new to us tonight, you'll notice that we're pretty conversational here. I respond to the chat as it comes up. And I like it that way, and I hope everybody else does. So if you're new here, jump in, join the chat. We'd love to have you talking to us. I guess you guys can see that okay. I was a little worried that I might not have quite enough light. Okay. This is getting a little foamy around the edges, so I think we're getting up to the temperature that we want. I really do wish I knew what I'd done with my thermometer. Can't really be that far away, I wouldn't think. In case it looks to you like I don't know what I'm saying tonight, that's a good possibility because I have like a teleprompter over there with a script on it that I don't follow much anyway. But I forgot to get it scrolling before I came over here. So now I can't get it scrolling without going over there, and I'm not about to do that. So we'll play it by ear. Just about like we're doing with this, because as I said, I don't know what this temperature is. Well, it's not where I would have thought I'd put it. You guys stop talking, or is that frozen up? I'm really looking forward to the show next week because, like I say, it's going to be remote. So my wife and I will be visiting my daughter and her husband and kids. And I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. This is steaming pretty good. So I'm going to say it's probably hot enough at this point. Now we're going to very slowly, I don't know how you're going to see this. I'm going to very slowly, with my shaking left hand, pour this milk mixture, about a half a cup or so, very slowly into the eggs because we don't want to cook the egg if we can possibly avoid that. Now, it is weird to hear myself tonight, but I can, and I'm hearing it at the speed you're hearing it, not at the speed I'm saying it, which makes it even more weird. It's delayed in my ear. You can pour a little tiny bit faster after you get some in here. And I'm making a mess on the countertop. Oof. Isn't bad enough that I'm just naturally a slob. I gotta pour stuff over the side too. Okay, that's enough in there. And we're gonna wipe this off a bit because we don't really want that on the stove burning away. And then we're gonna dump this back into the pot all over the stove top. Yeah, I don't really think I like this cornstarch in the egg thing. I think that's just the first and last time I'm going to do it that way. I think we're going back to my normal cornstarch in the milk. Hey, hi. Oh boy, this is getting thick all of a sudden. What we wanted to do is get thick and start bubbling. And it's doing both. And we want it to bubble for about a minute. You guys can see this here. When it's bubbling like this, you want to be really careful about, or really hope you're lucky, about getting hit by a bursting bubble, because this stuff is hot. It's about like getting hot glue on your hand. I pick it up a little bit because that's easier than regulating the flame on the stove. And I think that's been about a minute. So now we're going to shut heat off so we can set this back down. Now, right now, there's no banana flavor in this at all. That's coming up. But first, I can't reach my plastic wrap. We need a piece of plastic wrap because it's so much fun with a fan going. We need to put this on top of the pudding to keep it from forming a skin, which we really don't want to do. This is not easy. It's better late than never, Lynn. And because I only got about half of that covered, I got another piece going in here. All right, now we can set this aside. Get rid of this for a minute. Get the stove out of the way. You know what? I don't need that yet. I need this. I got to unplug for a second. I'll be very glad when I'm plugged in but wireless all at the same time, so that I can monitor this audio while also having freedom of movement, which I don't really have too well tonight. I got to unplug again. Okay, now we're going to slice up some bananas. Rain for days. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. We don't get rain for days, really. We get rain most every day, but not so much this time of year. But it's only for a little while, and then it stops raining, and then it's fine again until the next day. We used to joke, my brother-in-law and I, about the 2 o'clock rainstorm every day. I guess that's kind of not coming off there. Okay, we're going to slice this up. I would do this in advance, except that bananas tend to turn brown pretty quickly, and I just didn't want to deal with brown bananas in my pie. These are not bananas that I grew. Those tend to be too small and like you would expect. When I want to do something with them, they're either not ripe enough or too ripe. So they make really good banana bread. But as far as pie goes, you got to hit it real lucky to have the bananas at the right stage from the backyard tree to make pie with. I'm setting the ends aside. We're going to do 3 bananas. The recipe calls for 4. I think this size banana, that's going to be too many bananas. You're not looking at much there. You're still not looking at much. But now you're looking at an old man instead of a ceramic tile. Like an awful lot of banana slices to me. Okay, now we're going to need the pie crust. As I said, I made this yesterday. Now you can see what we're going to do. We're going to take banana slices and we're going to line the bottom of the pie with them. Just really lay them in there. Just basically cover the whole bottom. Slippery little critters. Yeah, we're gonna have way too many banana slices. We get one more in there. Then what we're gonna do is take this plastic wrap off and layer this filling in. And yes, it's pretty hot, but that's okay. You just want to cover all the bananas with this layer. And then more bananas. I haven't seen any chat since Linda said, sorry I'm late. But I don't know how you can tell me if the chat's not working. I don't know how you can tell me that. I'm trying to move a window here. Yeah, that's the last thing I got. Now that's, oh no, there's a chat down the bottom. Okay. That's still all on. Oh, brown bananas are really not appetizing. They're really gross. I got about a whole banana's worth of leftover banana here, because now we're going to cover the rest of the pie, or the rest of the bananas, with this filling. You can put bananas on the top, but because you can't put the whipped cream on until the pie is cool, you don't want to do that until, again, until the pie is cool. And it's got to cool for like 4 hours anyway, or overnight. And it usually, here, it ends up overnight in the refrigerator. And that is all of the filling. So what we're going to do now is put a piece of plastic wrap over it again, so that it doesn't get a skin on it. Let's get rid of this mess. Okay, plastic wrap. This is not terribly fun with that fan behind me. Someday I'm going to figure out exactly how to do this and have it work right the first time. And that's about as close as I've ever come to having it work right the first time. I think we'll be happy about that. Okay, at this point, what this pie needs to do is sit and cool, which will take it, as I said, some time. So at this point, let's take a look at this week's small channel of the week, which should be this button.
Hey y'all, I'm Brooke from The Buttered Home, where home cooking made easy is just what we do. Let's get cooking. These easy, mini, no-bake cheesecakes are the perfect dessert to make with your littles in your life. You'll see some tiny hands helping me with this one because it is just that easy. They love to make them as much as they love to eat them. We start out with a simple cheesecake base with just a few ingredients like cream cheese and cheesecake instant pudding mix. We mix that up until it's nice and thick. Then we layer in some cookies in some cupcake liners in a muffin tin. We spoon our cheesecake base in and we top it with everything that we love. Fruit, candy, you name it. And this recipe is yours at thebutteredhome.com.
There. Those look kind of good. I've never had instant pudding cheesecake, so I don't know that if it's good or not, but I don't see any reason it wouldn't be. Most of the puddings are really good. You hear the ice cream truck? It's in the neighborhood behind mine. Yeah, chat does seem to be working for you. It's working for me too, but you guys are not talking at the normal rate, so I can't tell if it's working or not if nobody's talking. Okay, so here's our beautiful pie. And that's gonna sit and cool for about 4 hours. Well, really, it's gonna be a long 4 hours because it's gonna be overnight. But what we gotta do now is make some whipped cream to go on the top of it. But let's watch a tip first. I think this one. When it comes to pie weights, you can buy ceramic ones, which are expensive. You can use rice or you can use dry beans, which I have been using this same couple of pounds of dry beans for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And they cost like $1 a pound or something like that. So they're pretty cheap pie weights. And they will work perfectly. Okay, we're back. And I'm trying to set up my mixer here, but I have discovered I found the mixer. I haven't found the beater yet. This one only, I think, well, no, it has two, but hang on one second while I look for that. Yeah, but while you're waiting, let's look at my little ad here. Are you enjoying the show? If you are, you can be a Gringo Baker backer and support the show by buying me a cup of coffee. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I can actually hear myself tonight, Linda. You can see me, I'm plugging in. Because the problem before was I couldn't hear it. So when it didn't work, I didn't know it. Now, if it doesn't work, I can fix it pretty quickly, theoretically. All right. I'm dripping water here. I put a sheet of parchment paper under this because it was on my cutting board that my son made us, and I didn't want it to get ruined. I did find my beaters. Hi there. Welcome. Really, I never heard of putting saran wrap in the freezer before. I would be pretty willing to give that a try if I had room in my freezer, which I certainly don't. Fish Beach Blue. That sounds nice. I like fishing. I like bowls that open too. There we go. Okay. Whoop. Not very handy when the beater falls out before you even pick up the mixer. I think I got them in the wrong side. Oh yeah, click that time. There. This is gonna make some noise. I don't know if you can hear me, I hope so. What we got here is a cup of heavy whipping cream. Which the bowl is really cold. The whipping cream is really cold because it's been in this big bowl of ice water over here. And it whips better when it's cold. Yeah, there's a chat delay always of about 7 minutes. 7 minutes. That would be a pretty good one. There's a chat delay of 7 seconds. It used to be 20 seconds. I don't know if you guys can see in this bowl. This whipping cream is taking its sweet time. It's starting to whip now. I'm making whipped cream to go on top of a banana cream pie that I just made. You can see the banana cream pie there. Right now it's just saran wrap on top of it. This is starting to look like whipped cream. Now with whipped cream, you have to be careful because you can go from whipped cream to butter in a hurry. So right now we're going to add about a tablespoon of sugar, and we're going to whip a little more. Now, with whipped cream, you can use confectioner's sugar or you can use granulated sugar. And I don't have any confectioner's sugar here in the studio kitchen right now. So this is granulated sugar. And I got to whip it just a little bit more. Now it's starting to look a little stiffer. I do like whipped cream. Now the other side of this is, because that pie has to cool for so long, this is not going on it now. So it's got to go back on the ice. So we'll put the cover back on it and we'll set it in the ice. And that'll keep it nice and cool. Okay. I took my I just realized I kind of screwed up. There's the vanilla that's supposed to be in the pie. And there's the butter that's supposed to be in the pie. Ooh, but it tastes good without it. So it'll survive. That's pretty sad when you set all of your ingredients where you can see them and then you still forget them. I've done that more times than I care to admit. And I'm not going to blame it on old brain, because then they have to say I'm old, and I'm not going to say that. So if you don't mind me asking, Fish Beach Blue, what part of the world are you coming from? I'm in Puerto Rico, in case you don't know that. It is still good. I think I've forgotten it enough times, so maybe I've gotten used to it without it. I don't know. Possibly. The only bad part about going to see my daughter and grandkids is we have to leave the house at 3:30 in the morning. That's not going to be fun. Normally I go to bed about 1 or 2 o'clock, so I'm going to have to figure out how to go to bed early that night, which is Tuesday night, by the way, Cheryl. I may or may not be at the chat. Oh, we had somebody else from Canada last week. He was from, my mind says Halifax, but that's not right. I don't think. Newfoundland. What is it, cold way up there still, or are you in the warm weather now? That's on the west side, right? Oh, so do I. I can stay up all night much easier than I can get up early in the morning. I can get up early in the morning. I just don't like doing it. Mostly because usually I've only had 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, Newfoundland was what I thought after I thought about it for a minute. Because I remember I asked about that ship that blew up, and you pointed out that it was Halifax. So that's where Halifax got into this conversation. So next week, in the remote, I'm making, I think I said already, I'm making pinchos. And pinchos, if you don't know, are the skewers of pork or chicken that are marinated, usually for a day in advance. And then they're grilled, and they're really, really good. And one of the ingredients that I need for that isn't easy to get in the States. My daughter couldn't find it, and she knows what it is. So I was kind of thinking I was going to have to take a 3-ounce bottle of the stuff and put it in my carry-on. But now we're taking a suitcase. So now I'm taking a quart of the stuff, which is way more than I'm going to need. Hey, new record. It's 86.7 now. We're going down. Let me see. What else have I not shown you tonight? I haven't shown you the crew yet. Most of you guys know the crew, but Fish Beach doesn't. This is the crew. They all look like me because it is me. This is what it takes to do a one-man show, which is one man spread out pretty darn thin. But I like it. I think all cooks accidentally leave stuff out. And honestly, I wouldn't have done that if I had the teleprompter thing running, because though I don't read it, I do keep aware of what it says so that I don't forget something that I wanted to say. And I also use it to keep track of the recipe so that I don't forget things. However, if you forget to start the thing, it doesn't do you any good. So that's why it didn't do me any good. What money? Thanks, Fish Beach. There isn't any money to handle. YouTube's a long ways away from paying me for doing this. You can get paid if you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a year. Or if you do short videos, those little minute long or less, or I guess they can be 3 minutes now. If you do those, you need 10 million views within every 90 days to be monetized, on top of having the requisite number of subscribers. And I have the subscribers. I have a little over 1,300, which is not a lot, but it's getting there. But I only have, last time I looked, I have about that many watch hours as well. Let's see. Is there anything else that I have not showed you? Did I show you? I'm not sure I did. Did I show you the pie weights tip? Oh, there goes a little heart. I don't know if I did or not, so I'm going to do it. This is, if I can make it work. This is one of my favorite things that I've learned in making pies. So I'm going to share it with you. When it comes to pie weights, you can buy ceramic ones, which are expensive. You can use rice or you can use dry beans, which I have been using this same couple of pounds of dry beans for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And they cost like $1 a pound or something like that. So they're pretty cheap pie weights. And they will work perfectly. Yeah. I just made that tonight so that it goes to the camera in front of me as soon as it ends. And I like that because then I'm not giving you guys any black screen for any period of time while I wake up and actually hit the button. So the other ones will probably get changed so that they end that same way. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with 1,300 followers. It took me a while, but I got 1,000 followers last fall, I think. So it's been pretty slow going since then. But honestly, I haven't done any or many videos in that period of time. At least in 2026, I've been mostly concentrating on trying to get this live to work and to work decently. My idea behind this show is that I want it to be something that is a variety of things, like the tips and the cooking and all of that stuff. And the small channel of the week eventually probably will have live guests. But my idea, I kind of describe it as a one-man variety show. And I want it to be interesting, and I want it to be something that people want to watch and want to tell their friends about, and their friends want to watch it too. That's my dream. Okay, now I think I'm out of things to show you. So if you got questions, I got answers probably. I like that, but who handles all the money? That's a great question. I noticed that you're laughing so hard in that your tears are coming. And actually, even if you do start making money from YouTube, it takes a tremendous amount of views to make money that you could call making money. You can make a few dollars a month, which would be okay. If I made $1 a month, I'd be happy. I'm happy not making anything actually, but if I made $1 a month, I'd be pretty happy with that, because then it would be something that was working. This week, my plan is the same as last week, only this week I plan to actually follow through a little bit better. Last week, I took the computer home from the studio here, and my plan was to organize things, get all of the assets for this show done and on the computer and working. And all of that happened between yesterday and today. This week, because we're traveling on Wednesday, my plan is to take the computer home when I leave tonight and actually have most of that done by the time it goes in the backpack on Tuesday night and we leave on Wednesday morning. So that the show should be pretty complete before Wednesday so that by Sunday it's really complete. And I'm going to have two pieces of hardware to test next week. One is the wireless sound monitor, which will have this one earbud. And the other is it goes on one ear and it goes in the ear, but it's got a little boom mic. And I'm going to test that out. I suspect it's going to be great for video chat and conferences and that kind of stuff, and not so great as a microphone for live streaming. I think it's going to sound too much like I'm on a telephone, but we'll see. That one I was kind of asked to review. So seeing where they gave it to me, I'm happy to do a review of it. Okay. No questions, guys? I need another little taste of this filling. It turns out that sugar, egg, milk, cream, and cornstarch is pretty darn good without the addition of butter and vanilla. Worst part of it is wasting that stuff. I had to laugh while I was typing the script today because my A key wasn't working. It started working about halfway through. So the word banana looks pretty funny with no A's in it. And I thought of that because I'm about to put those banana pieces in some saran wrap so that they stay fresher without turning brown, theoretically. Well, I'm glad you found it too. Baking is really fun. But I think people get too carried away with looking for perfection when actually, as you can tell by me forgetting my vanilla and my butter, you're not going to care too much about perfection. You're going to care about the taste and maybe the texture. I'm kind of big on texture. So the way you get better is to do it. Hi, Joseph. I'm curious where, if you don't mind, where you're from. You may or may not know this, but I'm in Puerto Rico. Yeah, well, I'd have to send you a picture tomorrow. And actually, I'm not going to cut it. This one is not going to stay at my house. My doctor likes it better when I make things like pies and send them to somebody else. So what I do is I make several pies that go to other homes, and then I make one I like. So, it's like a 4 or 5 to 1 ratio. That way, I eat only a fifth of the pie I used to eat. I think that should make any doctor happy. Visually famished. Calgary is where they have the big rodeo, right? Which I always thought I would like to go to. Never really wanted to ride a bull, but I like to watch it. So I don't know if I finished saying it, Linda, but that pie has to sit and thicken up overnight, cool off really well so that the whipped cream doesn't melt on it. So tomorrow it'll get covered with the whipped cream, and the person it's going to can pick it up. So if you want a piece, come to Puerto Rico and I'll take you to their house and I'm sure they'll give you a piece. That would be fun. We could do a special live while you're here. You notice this is a continuing theme every week when I try to talk you into getting on a plane and coming to Puerto Rico. You notice that? Okay. We are down to just about the end of the show. I hope those of you who are new enjoyed it, and I always assume that family and friends who are here enjoy it. I know that's not true entirely, but so next week, live from Florida, making pinchos on the grill. Yeah, I've watched rodeos in Maine and also in Topsfield, Massachusetts. But I won't be coming up for them this year. Who knows about next year, but this year I won't be. I do like to watch it on TV too. You know, she hosted some awards show recently, and I heard that Shania Twain was not the best host that they ever had. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But it's hard to believe that she's not a good host. She's from Canada, isn't she? So what I do with this live, it gets recorded as we're doing it. And then tomorrow, YouTube will let me get in there and do a little bit of editing. So I cut that timer on the front down to about 5 seconds so that people don't turn away too fast. I think we're going to have a good time in Florida. For one thing, it won't be too much of a temperature shock because it should be similar to here, maybe a degree or two cooler, but not too much. And humidity is probably similar. This place is like a walk-in sponge bath when you take a walk down the street. I got rained on twice today. Once walking to my house to get something, and once round trip, by the way. And then once an hour or so later, when I went back to the house to get something else, I got rained on round trip. But in between the two times, it was not raining. Yes, my luck. Joseph, if you're still with us, thanks for joining us. And Fish Beach, thank you for joining us. Oh, hi, Anissa. You cannot possibly be more humid in Florida than it is in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Not possible. You can walk here and feel like you're getting hit by raindrops, tiny ones, but raindrops, without a cloud in the sky. I'm just saying. That's a little on the humid side. I'm actually going to a part of Florida that I don't believe I've ever been to. Yeah, next week, I already have a small channel of the week lined up. it looks like a good one. And I know what I'm cooking next week. And then it's just filling in between those things, between and around. My goal is to make so much stuff on one of these shows that at the end of an hour, I say, oh, Jesus, I've got stuff left. But that hasn't happened yet. What has your temperature been, Anissa? See, told you it's more humid here. The thing is, I've got that same 79% humidity in my house. Oh, it's cooled off. It's 65% humidity in here, according to my cheap little hygrometer over there, and it's 86.4 degrees. So it's huh. Okay. Well, I'm going to enjoy your air conditioning then. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for the show. And thank you all for coming. And I hope we see our new guys again next week. Yeah, well, see, I'm from Maine, and I'm not going back up north because I haven't seen snow or frost or any temperature colder than like 69 degrees in almost 5 years, except for when I've gone back up there. Yeah, we don't have AC running nonstop. It would be good, but we don't. Okay, so that's the show. And now I need to show you, I need to show you this one, I think. Nope. And it's certainly not that one. Okay, so let me find it with my mouse. Well, I'd really like to show you the end screen.
On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call.